Jay Sano without intro music. Jay Sano with intro music. Intro music remix. Jay Sano 19. Jay Sano 19. Jay Sano 19. Jay Sano 19. This'll do. Let's see where this takes us. I basically came into the Nether at the end of that Nether hub and went a slightly different direction in order to build a new portal for the sole purposes of caving, since that last place that I was at seemed to have been kind of taken over already. Whenever I went out venturing, everything around there was already all explored, and I have had, amazingly, requests for caving, and I am so happy to have requests for caving because I love caving. Get away from working on the hospital for a little bit. Hopefully this will take us somewhere good, and I'll have good things that come out of this. But this episode, I left my flint and steel at home. Well, that was dumb. I'll be back. I just borrowed a flint and steel from the chest and realized the roundabout way I took to get here, my other portal's like only right over there, so I have a feeling that this is not going to be very helpful, but let's go check it out anyway. This episode was for the purpose of caving, but also for the purpose of discussion. I've recently run into a fun issue that I really need to just get out there and get off my chest, and it has to do with YouTube. And I know there's been a lot of controversy surrounding YouTube in the past, recent past. There's been a lot of controversy surrounding it, as in issues with monetization, etc., etc., etc. And I've run into one that I just can't seem to be able to be okay with. And as you guys know, I've been branching out in my gaming. I've been getting really into a lot of the roguelikes. I'm going to F3 this so I know exactly where I'm at. I can look at it back in the video. I've been getting into a lot of the roguelikes. So one of the games I started playing recently was The Binding of Isaac. Binding of Isaac, I'm having a great time with it. It's a steep learning curve, but it's definitely a fun learning curve. So I'm really enjoying playing it, getting a new play style, understanding how some of these more indie roguelike games are and how fun they can be. Now, I also do know that many games out there are very difficult to make Let's Plays of, and it's based on the fact that many of them have in-game music that you have to turn off, otherwise they get flagged for content claim or content ID because you're using somebody else's work without their permission. And I completely understand that. If you are an artist and you make some music and you do not want it to be utilized, ooh, is that a cave? And you do not want it to be utilized by other people to make money off of, that is completely your prerogative. If I don't make the product, hey, I shouldn't be the one making money off of it. You should be the one making money off of it. I completely get that. I actually played my first video of Binding of Isaac without the music because I was unsure of that game and what the rights were to that game. I had many people commenting on my first episode how the game is just so much different without music. I need to turn the music on. So I did some research, talked to some people, and they said, no, that game was specifically made with royalty-free music that the composers are completely okay with you using. So I did some research, found out, how did I miss? Wasn't there like a cave hole in here? Found out that was correct. People who made that game, they put music in there specifically that people were allowing for to be, monetized for the purposes of, people making Let's Plays and this and that. They were okay with it being, royalty free, so that people could utilize it and enjoy it and have the full experience, still making their Let's Plays, enjoying themselves, specifically for that purpose. I mean, You got a really popular guy. I don't believe he did anything with this particular game, but it's things like Kevin MacLeod. I don't know if that's exactly how you pronounce that name or not, but Kevin MacLeod was the music I used for my old intro. Many people use him for intro songs, for outro songs, for just interim songs and videos, like time-lapse videos especially, because he straight up says, my music is free to use, as long as you give credit where credit is due. If you don't want to give credit, you can even purchase some of this stuff. Like, this guy is pretty awesome. He has done interviews that I've seen on YouTube talking about the royalty-free music scene and some issues that he's run into the royalty-free music scene as well. And I understand that issues can come up. I get that. When they... Oh, there's that thing I wanted to check out. When they're unable to get fixed in a timely fashion, it's kind of problematic. So I ran into... Is that a spawner? Or is that just a bunch of gravel? That's just a bunch of gravel. So I ran into an issue when I posted my third video of mining for Isaac. Still had it processing set to private because I didn't have all the information put in it yet. I went to sleep when I started it uploading. Got done uploading the video sometime in the, throughout the night. In the morning, I get up, I look, I have a content match ID for that game because of the music at one particular spot in it, like 22 minutes into the movie, or into the movie. I keep saying movie. 22 minutes into the game, and so I kind of looked at it, checked out what it was, looked at that it was content matched to Danny Bernowski. So I was like, okay, maybe people were incorrect. Oh, man. Yeah, I need to definitely go move my little portal somewhere so that I can more easily find a terrain that has not been generated out here to find a good cave. So, looked it up, did some research, said, no, this guy definitely, specifically, has made this music and wants people to use it for monetization. I went to his Twitter page. Straight up on there says in his Twitter page, no, my music can be used, that stuff can be used. Because actually somebody had tweeted to him shortly before, hey, Binding of Isaac got flagged for your music in it, is that correct? And he said, no, you can use it on monetized videos all you want. To which somebody had also replied and given an email address of who to write to because they said they wanted to get it taken care of ASAP. So I was like, sweet, I'll take this. It might be a new thing. This video had also happened relatively recently, around shortly before the time that mine had gotten flagged as well. I was like, I'll look into this address. In the meantime, I go to my email to write to this email address to see if they can help me out as well. And see that another video, my episode 2 that had already been posted 3 days before, had now also been flagged for the exact same thing. So I'm like, okay. Obviously, this is YouTube's, way of their instant monetization, or their instant process, their automated process, going through and doing this. Let me dispute these claims and go back. I'll write to this email address. I'll even write to the producer himself on his Twitter feed to ensure that things are good. So I write to him on Twitter. I say, hey, what I say, I'm looking at it right now. I say, content ID claims on Binding of Isaac YouTube videos. Is the music still supposed to be usable in monetized videos? A couple hours later, he writes me back, and he says, yeah, sorry, I'm still trying to get this resolved, but they aren't making it easy. So I replied back to him, and I said, hey, it's all good, man. I really appreciate what you do for the community, and I understand that they can make it difficult, which I felt good about. This is the producer of this music. He favorites the tweet, responds back again to it, saying, hey, thanks, man. It's all, I'll let you know what as soon as I know anything, I'll tweet about it. I said, sweet. So I write to that email address, which is one of the companies that manages, because it gets flagged by this thing called IND Music. So I'm like, I looked it up, and IND Music's like a legitimate thing. It doesn't look like it's one of those, because for a while there's a lot of content ID claims on things that were completely not legitimate items. Kind of lost my way getting back to that portal. I'm really just looking for a good cave. None of these are leading to anything cool, though. So I'm kind of waiting to see what happens. So I write to this email address, and I say, my videos have been flagged in, this video. This is my username. These are the 2 videos that got flagged. This is why it says they got flagged. I've spoken to the artist. He's said that they should be usable. He's having trouble getting, these automated things to stop happening to people. So I'm like, okay, it's taken a few days already to get anything, but, maybe we'll get somewhere. So today, I get an email. I get an email back from, I wish I could really find out where I was going here. I get an email back from this place that I emailed, which happened to be a TuneCore Music publishing company. And they say, I need to get somewhere safe so I can discuss this. Oh, that looks like... Oh, this tree has a torch on it. I think I need to make my way back to that portal and get elsewhere. So I will let you know what they say momentarily. Okay, I found a little bit of a cave I can explore as well, but I'm going to read you this email, the response that I got after writing to the TuneCore Music Publishing, I guess it's not company, Custon? I don't know what that means, but it says, "Hello, Jeff. Thank you for writing. I&D Music was hired by TuneCore to license the sound recordings, and TuneCore Publishing Administration licenses the composition. TuneCore is making a claim at YouTube for the use of this composition we administer so that we can monetize and pay our clients royalties earned for the use of their intellectual property. If a license was issued to you by Daniel Bernowski for this specific video, please provide us the license that you were issued for review." Now, the problem I have with this, I would normally not have a problem with this at all. That makes perfect sense. You want to make sure your customers get the royalties that they deserve. I get it. Makes sense. That's what you do as a company. However, when you have artists who have specifically made it clear that this music is usable by people, especially in the purposes of it's video game music. They've made it very clear. He stated it many times. You can use this music and monetize videos. A Binding of Isaac is well known for having music like that, specifically so that people can use it. You're doing something wrong if you're not listening to your customers. How can you as a company sit there? You have a customer. The customer is always right. The customer in this case is somebody who has intellectual property of a song. They are allowing their song to be used. This has now gone through a third-party company because apparently it goes from the content producer to TuneCorp to I&D Music in order to have this claim done. After I received this email, I did a lot of research. I found multiple instances where not only is this happening to music that is supposed to be royalty-free and freely usable by all, I see that it has happened to the people who have written the music. There was a whole article I read. I wish I had the link still. I was reading it while I was just doing a bunch of research for this stuff about a specific artist who themselves put up a YouTube video and got their content flagged and claimed for using their own music in it when it was their intellectual property in the first place. I have a major problem with this. Not only, I'm not even just going off of a whim either and saying, well, I heard that it's usable. That is what I did at first, I will admit. I have since taken the time, like I said, to contact Danny himself, who said it should be usable. You're allowed to use this music. They're making it very hard on me in order to let this happen. When you have a content ID system, I understand you don't want to have copyrighted music on your, you don't want to be YouTube and have a bunch of people there who think they're free to put up any copyrighted material they want in the world. I mean, that was actually one of the original problems with YouTube before the guy sold it for like $6 billion or whatever, when they sold it to Google. The people who created it, right after they sold it, Google had to go through and completely redo the way all the copyright claims were because it was starting to get sued for being, for being a site that people were just posting up full-length movies, etc., because there was no process involved at the time. So yes, I get the point that you have to have some type of process involved. But when you do a Google search on it, a Google search, go figure, a Google search for a Google content thing, Google product, and their content utilization, content matching, whatever you want to call it, you can Google search and see how many issues there are with it. See how many artists themselves have had problems with it. It's unfortunately making it so I have videos that I'm going to lose the monetization rights on that have already been posted and viewed. That's okay. It's not a big deal for me because it's only like one video that's been posted and a video that I'm never going to be able to post because it's just going to get flagged. But think about the people who have this happen in one blanket statement on multiple of their videos. I mean, this is, I've said it before, I hope to not have to say this one day, but this is not my full-time job. So I'm not relying on the money that I'm getting from YouTube because it's very minimal for me. I'm not relying on that money in order to make my living. But what if I... Wow, what a big blast radius, man. But what if I were, and this stuff started happening, and all of a sudden I have all my content that I have either scheduled, planned, already recorded, whatnot, is going to be something that gets flagged when it's not rightfully supposed to. No, I'm not saying, like, originally for a long time, Grand Theft Auto was not allowed to be made Let's Plays of, YouTube videos of, because of the fact that it had all this music in it. Rockstar said no. Hey, if it's Rockstar created the game, if it's their prerogative to say no, it's their prerogative to say no. Rockstar got smart. They realized the market for all that stuff. There's people out there who want to watch this. It builds hype in their game. It's something that they should be doing. I should be silk touching actually those coal blocks. And they've come out with what, GTA 5, and have made the statement that you can make a Let's Play of this video game. However, you just must, you must do us the favor and turn off the radio in the car, because that music, you know, maybe they sold the rights to GTA, but GTA doesn't have the rights, or Rockstar doesn't have the rights to go and have other people be able, they can't make the blanket statement because it's not their music to say, yeah, it's okay to use it because, you know, it's in the game. So they just said turn the radio off. Smart way to go about things. Nintendo, for that little while when there was the big problems, was not allowing any monetization of... Oh, I should have brought any potions. I completely forgot about the fact that I'm not going to be healing. I don't know why. It's not that I haven't been playing, but I've been playing so much lately where I've been doing builds and being around spawn that it hasn't been as big of a deal. But, you know, Nintendo had the thing for a while where they were not allowing people to monetize Nintendo games that they were playing. I think that's loosened up a little bit because they realized it was kind of a huge loss to them. It's almost like a free advertising. I understand kind of their point in a way. They're afraid that maybe if it's a certain type of game that has a nice, cool storyline, especially if it's got like some twist endings or something like that, that, you know, people aren't... Who's going to want to play a twist-ending game if you've already seen it all? I get the point. They've loosened up their restrictions, though. This is coming from an artist who says, no, I would like you to be able to utilize this music. I want you to utilize it. And some third-party companies being like, no, we're protecting your intellectual property and going against your wishes. There is a problem with that. People who are ballsy enough to be out there and try to change the way that things work. Kevin MacLeod, Danny Bernowski. You guys are amazing to me. You guys will always be amazing to me. Even if one day you sit there and go, you know what? I don't want my music to be royalty free anymore. That's your prerogative if you want to do that. But while you're sitting there and saying, no, I want you to be able to use my music without having to deal with this, and you're having a hard time yourself getting somehow this company who is protecting your intellectual property, according to the email I got, they're protecting you by going against what you want them to do. I mean, I have a huge problem with that. So this is my rant for the day, because stuff like that just, it angers me. It's some other company that's going to be out there making some royalties off of this stuff. They're going to maybe give a portion to Danny. Maybe they're going to give a portion, Kevin MacLeod, if anything ever starts getting hit by him. Maybe they're going to make all, get a portion of it. But this company's taking their cut too, and they have no right to. Absolutely no right to. That is shoddy and shitty business practices is exactly what that is. That's it. I think that's the title of this episode is going to be Shotty and Shitty. I mean, that's pretty much what sums it all up. And I apologize for those who, don't like it when I swear. I've actually done quite a good job in the past many months, actually, in cutting down in my swearing in these videos. Dude, I swear like a sailor. But I did have some people that had actually requested that I cuss less. And part of me wants to say, oh, no, screw you, I do what I do. But no, I understand exactly why. Especially when the audience of this it's a younger audience for like Minecraft videos and things like that. So I get it. Your parents monitor what you want. Maybe they won't let you watch anymore if you're watching somebody who is not, holding themselves to, a high regard for children or whatnot. So I get it. I work on it when I can. I'm not going to be perfect every time, so I apologize. You guys know that up front. I'm relatively good guy. Try to be a good guy. Try to do good things, but it doesn't mean I'm perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But I try for you guys. But it was, I don't know, the whole concept doesn't even make it mad for me. I lost a video, who effing cares? I don't really care that much about the video. I'd like to be able to get them posted. I'd like to be able to continue that series on and not worry about them getting flagged and potentially, ooh, spawner, yay. I haven't found one of you in a long time, and you're going to make this difficult on me, aren't you? Are you a spider spawner or a skelly spawner? I can't tell because there's everything in here. Spider spawner. Man, I thought you were a skelly spawner. What you got? Jesus Christ. Records galore. More saddles, some gold horse armor. I don't need these records. I don't really actually care about the records that much. I don't even know where I'm at in this cave anymore. But yeah, like I said, I'm not arguing because I'm personally mad that I have a video that won't monetize. I would like them to be able to monetize. I'd like to put them up there. There's also a fear you got to remember that if you have enough, they're not strikes. According to the YouTube terms of service, that stuff's allowed to still be up there on my channel. I won't make any money off of it, and I can do that for a very long time. That would be fine. I'm always afraid that YouTube's going to turn around at some point and be like, boom, you did it too many times, even though we told you it was okay. There's now a strike on your record for that. That scares me. When you get a strike on your record, you can't get it taken away as far as I know. And if you have any strikes on your record, it hinders a lot of opportunities. Oh, that's a squid. I was like, what the hell? It hinders a lot of opportunities with, enhancing your channels and things like that. So I don't ever want to have to take that risk. So if I ever have anything that's concerning to me, I'm going to take it down just for the fact of I don't want it to come back and bite me in the future and something. Oh, sorry. God, not right weapon. Something that's going to come back and bite me in the future. I actually did an episode of Special Ops The Line. Had the episode flagged for Content ID match. I didn't know anything about the whole Content ID matching system at the time, so I was like, crap, maybe this is one of those games that I can't do. And so I went through and I looked at it and I said, okay, I'll acknowledge this. I'm not going to, oh Jesus. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that, I'm allowed to do something when I legitimately thought that I wasn't at the time when they flagged. I thought I was when I made it. They flagged it. I was like, okay, maybe I couldn't. So I'll get this thing removed. So I had acknowledged it and I was going to take it down. And then some people started saying, no, wait, who is it that gave, oh crap, who is it that gave you the thing? Like, what company was it? And I don't remember what company it was, but it turned out it was a well-known one of those spam type companies. I don't know if that's what you call them, but they basically went through and tried to content claim everything so they could get money off of it. And it was apparently well known that this particular one was like a fake. And I was like, oh, so I did some research and again found out, yeah, this place was claiming stuff that was not theirs, didn't have anything to do with them. So I disputed the claim. 30 days to dispute a claim. So now I'm sitting in limbo for 30 days waiting for a response. Of course, I don't think whatever company this was sent a response because they just hoped that people didn't dispute stuff. And 30 days later, they lifted the content ID match off of my video because I disputed, they didn't respond, said you won. Here you go, have your video back. I was like, great. So I reposted the video. Freaking claimed again. The same video. I didn't re-upload the video. The same video. I just turned it back on to monetization. Turned on to monetization for a day. Claimed again. And I was like, what? I just won. Claimed the exact same thing was claimed. And I'm like, I just won this dispute. How on earth can I win a dispute just to have you turn around and do it to me again? So even if I win a dispute, it doesn't mean you can use anything. And that stuff kind of drives me insane. People trying to make a buck off of something, knowing that they're doing it in a shady fashion, as well as people getting blocked from their wishes being fulfilled of having royalty-free music that people are allowed to use, as opposed to getting just screwed around by some company that's like, you want to put your stuff out there for free? Awesome. No, can't do it. We're going to get some money from it as well. Drives me insane. Everybody just should free music. If you're into doing free music stuff, I applaud you. I feel it's great. I don't charge anybody for my videos. I would never charge anybody for my videos. Well, I guess I can't say never because you never know what's going to happen in the future. But it's never crossed my mind to be like, nope, you're going to have to pay to watch my video. I've accidentally put my stuff up before on rent. And that was completely an accident. And I had a buddy of mine who watched most of my videos, and he goes, "Did you mean to put this up on rent?" So you couldn't watch it unless you paid like $2.99 or whatever. And I was like, "Oh hell no, I didn't mean to do that." And I quickly changed it. That was just an honest mistake. But I try to make free entertainment for the people. These people who want free entertainment for the people, they want to make awesome music and let people just go for it royalty free. I applaud you. You are wonderful, wonderful people. You make my experience better. You make my viewers' experience better. You make everybody's experience better. And I think we should all just keep in mind how much stuff that these people have to go through to try to do that, because even when they try to just make something free, it's not even always possible for them to control it all. So, oh, look at that. I found my portal. Awesome. But anyways, that's my rant for the day. I know it got a little bit long. I'm very passionate about it, though. But Danny Bernowski, you are a good man. I am so glad you wrote me back and are, okay with this. I wouldn't have even taken it as far as it did if I hadn't heard back from you. I would have just thought, okay, maybe he really doesn't want this stuff to be free. But when you specifically wrote me back and said, nope, it's supposed to be, free, trying to work on it, I highly applaud you and thank you so much. Also to Kevin MacLeod, and the reason I keep bringing up his name is because I've used a lot of his music in the past for my intros and things like that, and I really, really, really am happy with people who do good things for the community like that. So a big shout out and thank you to you guys, and a big rant-filled screw you to these companies that don't let the wishes of their intellectual property owners actually take place. As always, guys, this is Jeff, and I'll steal your pants too.